Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to MMA Ventures. I know I kind of slacked off. I was gonna make some prediction videos for the Wednesday night fights, and then obviously the fights that happened last night, but I didn't get around to doing it, so whatever. Basically, what I'm about to do is go through the UFC 257 results that just happened last night. You all know the main event. Conor getting knocked out by Dustin Poirier in the second round. Crazy, crazy, crazy type of result. Did not really see it coming. I saw Dustin winning by decision. If he wins, it would like basically if in my opinion, if I saw Dustin winning, it was by decision, was not by finish. I saw Connor finishing him probably a little probably like just pressuring him, backing him up, and flustering Dustin because that's what happens to Dustin. Dustin often does get flustered. And he started getting a little bit flustered in that fight, but he really managed well. And the leg kicks, man, the leg kicks were beautiful. And he learned those because he fought Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje just demolished his front leg. But we're going to go over the whole event right now. And I'm going to try to give you the my best breakdown of what's next for each fighter. I mean, I'm not gonna know the unranked guys really what's next. Maybe a step up in competition. We'll see. But I'll see you when we're there. All right, everybody. Now let's go over the results of the main card for the fights that just happened this weekend, which was Dustin the Diamond Poirier and Conor the Notorious McGregor. So here we go. View the final results. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what they got. So um, I'm gonna start with this one was all right. Brad Tavares versus Antonio Carlos Jr. was a good fight. Both these guys coming off an ACL injury, which was kind of convenient. They both came off the ACL, both returning off the ACL injury, and you saw a really good fight. Brad Tavares looked really good. Like, you know, when Brad was younger, his defense wasn't his strong suit, but he was slipping punches really well, landing big shots, and 30-27 to in my opinion. Um, Next up for Brad, I believe he's number four. Yeah, it says right here, ranked number 14. So you gotta let's check out the rankings, man. Let's go ahead. A little unprepared here. So let's check out the rankings of middleweight. So he beat somebody unranked. So I mean, hey, why not throw him in there with Edmund? You know, unless they've already. I feel like they've already fought. Let's see. But if they haven't, Edmund Shabazian would be a great fight for Brad Tavares to prove himself. They fought. Yep. How come I figured that? Okay, so let's not do that then. Omari coming off the loss to Chris Weidman, right? No, he just won against Tom Breeze on Wednesday. All right, so yeah, perfect matchup right there. Both of them coming off a win. Both of them right behind each other in the rankings. Makes a lot of sense for them both to fight each other. So you set up that fight, Brad versus Amari. Um, it's like nobody else is really available right now, so that fight just makes sense. I think Ian's fighting Kelvin Gastelum, Derek Brunson, and Kevin Holland. Uh, Weidman's fighting Uriah Hall. So yeah, not a lot makes sense there aside from that fight. And perfect. They're ranked right next to each other. Um, Going on up, Juliana Pena beat Sarah McMahon. Looked really. I didn't really watch this fight too much. Like I wasn't really paying attention, but from from what it looked like, I heard it was a back and forth bout. Let's see. She got the better. She had a good first round, so she pretty much. It was pretty much a comeback fight for Juliana Pena. Um, Juliana Pena, is she even ranked? Where is she? She should be ranked, right? No way. Wait, she's not even ranked. All right, well, I mean, she called out the reason. Oh, that's pound for pound. Okay, here we go. Juliana Pena is ranked number 7. So I mean, let's go down the list, right? Jermaine Durandame lost to Amanda. Lost to Amanda. Don't think she's fought Amanda yet. Lost to Amanda. Hasn't fought Amanda. So it's like maybe you throw in Aspen Ladd and Juliana Pena, or even Irene Aldana versus Juliana Pena. Amanda is fighting. Why is she not? Oh, maybe it's for the 145 belt. I guess that's why Megan Anderson's fighting for the 145 belt. I'm not too sure, but hey, if after Megan Anderson, why not throw Juliana Pena in there? I mean, I don't see anybody beating Amanda Nunez, so regardless, more power to her if she does. Uh, beat Amanda, but um, fuck it, let's do it. Rock and roll. Juliana Pena, Amanda Nunez, why not? And if not, let her fight Aspen Ladd for the number one contender fight. Um, makes sense there. Um, Khalil Roundtree, I again one of those fights I really didn't pay too much attention to, but from what I've read on Twitter and stuff like that, he kind of got robbed. Kind of sucks that he did that. Khalil Roundtree got robbed. I'm pretty sure that was Roundtree's last fight. From what I heard, I know Brendan Schaub said that Khalil was gonna retire at the end of this one, and if he does, that's a shame because I still feel like he has a lot to prove, a lot more, a lot more left in the tank, I should say, not to prove. Um, but yeah, Marcin looked good. It was a great striking battle, and yeah, that's all I can really say about that. I don't know who you match him up with at 205. I mean, if you want to give him a ranked opponent, let's say Jamal Hill, maybe Paul Craig. I don't know. A lot makes there's a lot. 205's open right now, so it's like go for it. You know what I mean? With Izzy moving up to 205, it's like anybody can make a big splash and get the next title shot. I know, obviously, you have Glover Teixeira, who probably should get the title shot over Izzy, but regardless of that, 205's open. So moving on to Nick Lentz versus. This is just, I don't know. This is definitely not in order because I think this was the second fight of the night or the first fight on the prelims. Um, this guy did not look good. Okay, Nick Lentz is really. I'm not. I'm not gonna say he's a horrible fighter, but he was basically a stepping stone in this one. Um, and this guy didn't look as impressive as the odd makers made it out to be. It did not look like Nicholas was supposed to be a plus 550 underdog and him be a minus 700 favorite. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about him. Maybe it was like he said he had some excuses for his performance. Maybe that's what affected his performance. But love to see him get in there again and fight somebody maybe a little higher of a caliber, and maybe he could do it. Let's see it. Um, this fight was another one of those fights that was like it was weird because okay, I'm trying to remember the fight as I go. Amir looked really he did not look good in the first round, and then obviously the second and the third round he took over and dominated. So doesn't really matter there. 29-28, I could see that because he did lose that first round 100% in my opinion. But he looked good. He looked impressive, and I'd love to see him fight again and get a better performance out of him. Um, okay. So, main card. Let's just go to the event. Let's just go look at the main card because that's what you guys came here for, not for this freaking all this other bullshit. Um, so get out of here, ad. So the main card, you had Marina Rodriguez beat Amanda Ribas. Um, knocked her out twice in the fight. Yeah. What else can you say? Marina looked really good. Amanda is a beast and was looking primed to be, a superstar. And Marina derailed that hype train, and I'm excited for her future. Really am. Moving on to let's see. So Marina Rodriguez, that was at 125, I believe. Women's fly rate. Wait, no, was it? Was it 115? Was 115? Huh? Yeah. So 115. Marina Rodriguez is number 8. If Gadelia doesn't have a fight, I think she might have a fight booked with Nina. Nina, throw her in there with Michelle Watterson. See what her striking's all about. That's a good fight right there. Even maybe Angela Hill can go against Amanda Ribas if you want to, because I believe she just lost to Michelle Watterson in that 5-round fight. So that fight makes a lot of sense. Both coming off a loss, trying to bounce back. Next up, 185. This one was interesting because Andrew Sanchez's coach was live when he got finished, and he said, "I don't like how close that right hand is coming," and he really and you didn't like it. Nobody liked it. And it really showed when uh Muradov landed that big right, and he went on Bambi legs, and that was it. Um, Andrew Sanchez looked impressive. I mean, he's probably not going to be in the UFC very much longer. I wouldn't say. Um, as for this guy, he asked for a top 15 opponent. Like I said, it's so hard right now. Everybody is booked pretty much. I mean, the only guy I think that's not booked is Hermanson and Cannonier. Um, but other than that, everybody is booked, and Cannonier's not gonna fight him. Hermanson possibly, but definitely he's gonna have to wait till some of these fights play out, and then go back to the drawing board and see who he should fight. Jessica and Joanna Calderwood. Oh my god, I struggle with that one, huh? I don't know. I don't know too much. I don't know really what to say because this fight was like neither one of them looked extremely impressive. Like, I mean, Joanna's striking um looked great, looked fantastic. She was kickboxing very well. And Jessica I just looked like she just wanted to clinch and throw body strikes, and it's like, yeah, that works, but you have to capitalize off those body strikes, you have to make something of them. Uh Looking at the rankings here for the 125-pound women division, um I guess you could throw her in there. Maybe throw her and Murphy in there together to decide who fights Valentina. That makes the most sense in my opinion. Andrade is probably gonna fight Valentina next, unless we do Lauren Murphy. Then, if that's the case, do Andrade and Jessica and Calderwood. Jennifer Maya and Jessica I would be a nice fight because they're both coming off a loss. Maya's loss coming to Shevchenko. So I don't know. That's a fight to look at. I wouldn't be mad at either one of those fights. Um, Next up on the list is the co-main event. Michael Chandler put on a performance, and he set up that left hand so perfectly by going to the body, boom, 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 and then finally going up to the top. And I kind of saw it coming. I kind of thought he would do that. Um, just the way he, it's weird because I haven't watched a lot of Michael Chandler fights. You know, when he was in Bellator, I watched a few of his. But he never seemed to be like that one shot knockout guy until I obviously I watched his last fight against Benson Henderson where he just flatlined Benson, where nobody has done that really aside for like Dos Anjos. But once Dos Anjos knocked him down, he got right back up. So yeah, nobody flatlined Dan Hooker. Nobody. Like, Dan Hooker has fought the who's who. Like, he fought Dustin Poirier and went 5 rounds with him. Did he get finished by Edson? Let's see if he got finished by Edson. I don't remember. I thought he went to a decision, but he might have actually got finished by Edson. Uh, okay, he did get stopped by Edson, but that was a beating that man got put through. And yeah, I mean, Dan Hooker's another one of those guys that he's gonna be in the top of the division. I hope he doesn't retire because there's a lot of interesting fights for him. Um, oops. At 155, for example, coming off the loss, what you could do is, you know, you have Tony Ferguson available, and we'll get into Tony Ferguson a little bit later. But even RDA versus Dan Hooker would be an interesting fight, a lot of fun. Kevin Lee versus Dan Hooker, if Kevin Lee is ready to come back. Darush versus Dan Hooker. There's a lot of good fights out there um, for him, and I hope he doesn't retire. He lost one time, to, well, not one time, but he lost just this one fight, to Michael Chandler, who's no slouch. Michael Chandler's a beast, and you know, he looked very timid. He didn't look ready. He looked a little flat. I think the hype got to him. I don't know. No, no. I retract that. I don't think the hype got to him, but I don't know what I don't think he expected. Chandler to beat. I think he expected a takedown, and when Chandler didn't shoot for that takedown, he was like, "Oh, like what now?" Um, but yeah, Michael Chandler. Obviously, there's a lot going on at lightweight, and I'm gonna get into Chandler when I talk about this next fight, which is McGregor Poirier. I'm gonna get into it all and break it down how I think it should go down. So let's get into it. Actually, so El Dominante, Dustin Poirier, knocks out Conor McGregor. Who saw it coming? Not a lot of people. I Nobody really saw it coming. Great performance by Dustin. Great performance by Conor. Like, give it up to Conor for the year off. Like, not many excuses for him, but he had the year off. He looked good though. Like, he looked really good. He was countering very well. I think the leg kicks really just got to him, and they hurt him. And that was the game plan going in. Obviously, like, I don't want to say I told, like, I called it. I called it because there's no proof that I called it. But once I saw Dustin land that first leg kick, I was like, oh, that's the key. If he keeps landing these leg kicks, Connor's not gonna be able to do all the stuff he does. Like, he's so elusive. He doesn't get hit because he's moving. And when you take away your legs, you cannot move like he moves. You can't dart in and dart out like he likes to do. And it was just the perfect game plan. The perfect game plan. And when Dustin gets you hurt, there's nothing scarier because he just goes balls to the wall. And that's what I was scared of. I was like, if Dustin gets him hurt, he's probably gonna get clipped. But he kept his composure. He kind of got a little wild. Kind of got a little wild, but at the end of the day, he stayed composed. He stayed at range where he could hit Connor, but Connor couldn't hit him. And Connor made the mistake of staying against the cage. He should have. I mean, obviously he couldn't move because his leg was compromised. But if he would have moved, if Connor's leg wasn't compromised, the fight doesn't end there, guaranteed. Like, he got rocked, but Connor's been rocked before. Um, but great performance by Dustin, great performance by Connor, even in the loss. So now let's get to what's next for both these guys. So, as you heard at the press conference, Dustin is not interested in fighting Michael Chandler. Obvious reasons, Chandler's a new guy in the UFC, only fought once against Dan Hooker, who Dustin beat. So it doesn't really make sense for them to fight, I guess, in Dustin's opinion. So put that aside. Let's say they don't fight, right? You look at 1 and 2. Khabib's out of the equation. He's retired. He's not coming back. Dana admitted it. He's not coming back. I heard some rumor, not really a rumor. I saw somebody tweet about it that Khabib's holding out for GSP. None of that's true. Guaranteed. Khabib's done. He's not going to disobey Mother. You know what I mean? So what you do next is this is very pivotal for the 155-pound division. You have Justin and Dustin. 1 and 2. They want to do Justin and Charles. Don't do Justin and Charles because that's a fight, right? That's a fun fight. What you want to do is you want to do Dustin and Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira's on a 7-fight win streak, something insane like that. We don't need another Tony Ferguson situation where he never gets a title shot until he's out of his prime, and then it's like, oh, he was never that good to begin with. Like, no, Tony Ferguson is still the real deal, but he just isn't the athlete he once was. So you do these two fighting, right? It's a great fight, by the way. Great fight. I would be really excited for that. And then you do Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler. A lot of people are saying let Dustin and Connor run it right back. No, you don't run it right back because Connor has a lot of options here. Now Connor can have I don't want to say a tune-up fight because Tony Ferguson is no easy fight, but you have Connor go in there against Tony Ferguson who's coming off 2 losses, and you see if Connor still got it, or you do Connor versus Nate Diaz, the trilogy. That fight sells itself. It sells a buttload of pay-per-views, and then it's like, if Connor wins, he's right back in the picture, which it's a winnable fight for Connor. It really is. I don't want to see Dustin and Nate. I don't, because Dustin deserves more than Nate Diaz. I mean, it's a big fight for Dustin, don't get me wrong, but he deserves more than Nate Diaz, in my opinion. I feel like he should fight for the belt, and who better to fight for the belt than Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier? I feel like that's the fight to make, and then you do Gage. You do so. This is what you do. Let's break it down. You do Dustin and Charles for the lightweight. The vacated lightweight belt co-main event is Justin and Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler is gonna have a number by his name. Don't be surprised if it's number 6 or number 5. Um, he might be tied for 5 with Tony Ferguson. That's the fight to make. and then you have the backup, and then you do Conor versus Nate International Fight Week main event. Sign me up, man. Sign me up. So let me know what you think about all these, but down below. Um, I promise next time I will do a breakdown for the next fight, whenever that is. Let's actually see when the next fight is going to be. And then we'll upcoming is Overeem versus Volkov. That's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, we'll do one for this and we'll do one for Burns. I'm also gonna start a segment. I kind of been betting. I mean, my bets did terrible yesterday, but I might do a crazy parlay where like I give you a parlay that can win you a bunch of money for and you don't have to bet a lot. And then I'll do like a safe parlay where you can bet, you could bet money and you're guaranteed to win. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of good bets to be made on UFC 260. So keep your eye out for that. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you think, man. I'd love to hear everybody's opinion. And yeah, man.